Hi, this is Shauna Reed, daughter of 1,000 Maniacs, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show with Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, everything in between, every Saturday, and interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy. Use promo code Wrestling with E for 10% off your next purchase. I am, of course, your host, that guy, James J., alongside somebody that is not on time once again, or might not even be here, the leader of Squash Squad, Kaliko Yachts. But who is actually here and on time, the American Scooter Dust.
Hello.
That's it?
Yep.
Okay. And it was a good week for us. We interviewed Shauna Reed last week on the show, and that was a little bit more emotional than I had expected. Sure, there was a lot of laughs we had with Shauna, but we talked about some real stuff as well. No, Scooter?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as it pertains to uh, Bobby and Tracy Smothers. Definitely, we love to hear stories of our guests interacting with the wrestlers who we grew up watching. So that's always great to hear. You know how great of a human being they are, outside of the ring. Always a treat. Give the interview a listen.
Absolutely. Next week on the show, we have Miss Hannah. So you don't want to miss that. We even have maybe a little Easter egg from the Shauna interview in that interview. The week after that, Laurel Cassidy. On the 22nd of September, we have Lori. And on the 29th of September, fingers crossed, we're not promising anything, but it should be down Kiefer Bartek. So all of September already down on Wrestling with Entertainment. Haven't had this in quite some time. Give all of those interviews a listen when they drop. Now that we're done putting ourselves over, it's not a great day for wrestling, not a great day for mental health either. Um, a few days ago, we lost Daffney Unger. And it was apparently a suicide. Still kind of waiting on what it may
Uh,
have.
we do have uh, an official cause. Yes, it is suicide, and it is unfortunately uh, reported to be a gunshot.
Yeah, that really sucks. Scooter, what can you tell us about Daphne?
Well, Daphne, Daphne Unger, aka Shannon Spruill, began her career at a very odd time in wrestling, coming into WCW in 1999, and she was, some might say, stuck in the never evolving team of David Flair and Crowbar, aka Devon Storm. However, she does hold a distinction in pro wrestling, being the second woman to ever hold the WCW Cruiserweight Champion. Uh, she wrestled on the independent circuit uh, for quite some time, um, from 2002 to 2013. Um, she attended Dusty Rhodes School in Kennesaw, Georgia. Uh, she worked for Rob Black's XPW, a few appearances with Ring of Honor as the valet of the Second City Saints. Uh,
Stint
then,
in Impact or TNA.
yep, I'm getting to that. She did have a developmental deal with WWE in 2003. Um, funny little uh, funny little tidbit. Uh, she retired in December 17th of 2003 when she wanted to focus on acting, and she sold her wrestling boots to her then roommate Mickey James.
Hmm.
Um, would compete again all over the independent circuit, mostly in the South. Uh, began working with Robert Fuller, aka Colonel Robert Parker, Tennessee Lee, in a sort of weird homage to Million Dollar Baby. Uh, Daffney would be a part of the all female promotion Shimmer as well. Should make again several appearances for TNA uh, as Shark Girl, the valet of Shark Boy. Um, she would return later on to essentially play a parody of Alaska Governor Sarah Palin. Um, then, of course, there was the alliance with Dr. Stevie. Uh, she
I've
was a
actually
part of
seen that live.
she was part of the first ever Monsters Ball match as well. Um, took part in as the hostess of the the spin-off promotion of Shimmer Shine. Uh, her last recorded match was in 2018 for Ring of Honor for the Woman of Honor Championship uh, in a tournament final with Sumi Sakai and Kelly Klein. Um, she was married to Fozzy guitarist Rick Ward.
Hmm.
Um, had a had some bit parts in a couple movies, including 1985 Santa Claus the movie, um, and of course, fortunately, the big thing that's coming out of this is on September 1st, and I'm gonna break kayfabe here. Um, 2 days ago, as of this recording, uh, she appeared on Instagram Live reading what appeared to be alive suicide note, holding a pistol, and requested that her brain be donated for chronic traumatic encephalopathy testing. This prompted fans alike to show support uh, for Daphne and immediately try to get the law enforcement to her in time. Unfortunately, they were unfortunately just too late, and her passing is felt throughout the entire wrestling world, uh, with many superstars uh, using the hashtag mental health matters and mental health awareness, and of course posting the suicide hotline number, reminding you that there is help. There is someone to speak to, even if it's, for the, oddest of things, there is help. 800-273-8255. You will find that in many, many tweets regarding Daphne's passing, Mick Foley, Chris Jericho, Lexi Fife, and a number of others. This just proves that we need to crack down on giving the help to those who need it. And I think I'm gonna stop here so I can regain my composure. But
Yeah. So
I hold on. I just gotta say one more thing to the asshole who is keeping up her Instagram video on Twitter, thinking keeping it up there is going to save a life. You are a disgusting human being. And now I'm done.
now, we've talked a lot of our guests that we interviewed. We've talked about mental health before. Just this past week, Summer week, we talked about, how it could be taxing on, somebody in this profession.
Yep.
Most notably, our interview with Alex King, where came, he almost maybe came succumbed to the same things that Daphne was suffering from. Like you said, there's help. You can find help. Whether it's a family member, a friend, just even a stranger could give you help. You know, you just gave out the number. If you need it, it's absolutely there for you as well. Um,
And I think as a reminder, I think you'll find the number in the description of this episode.
yes, we could do that. And obviously our thoughts and prayers are with Daphne's family. Um, and I think that's all we could say for right now, right?
I think that is.
Yeah. So let's get into the news portion of the show. Last week was no, NWA's Empowered pay-per-view. We're not going to have a full review of that because there's just way too much to preview this week. But Spiro, what are your thoughts on the all-female pay-per-view from NWA?
It was very positively received, and uh, it you know this this is a first for the NWA, despite having been in existence for over 60 years.
73.
That's over 60. Last time I checked. Um,
Well, I mean, the 73rd anniversary was the day after. We'll get to that in a moment.
mhm. Um, this was it was it was great wrestling. Um, even an opponent of Shauna Reed that we asked her about made an appearance on the pre-show. Sky Blue.
Yes.
Um,
And somebody we interviewed, Master Slamovitz, was in a rumble that they had.
yes. Along with with along with Debbie Malenko.
I didn't know there was a female wrestler named Malenko.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they she is Dean's Dean and Joe's uh,
Daughter?
sister, actually, or at least it was a storyline. Uh, I don't believe they are actually
Related.
related, but it was almost she and she is at the very young age of 50. Uh, her, I believe her last match before this was sparing some 2017. Uh, Funny enough, the National Wrestling Alliance was supposed to produce a women's pay-per-view event in 1999, and Debbie was supposed to be the center of that. Uh, that unfortunately didn't pan out. But again, this show was it was great top to bottom, and I really hope to see more.
One of the maybe more newsworthy things that came out of this show was that Awesome Kong formally retired, saving longtime rival Gail Kim. Um, you know, Awesome Kong, one of the greats, even had the pleasure of seeing her live wrestle. Um, it seemed like everything after that TNA run was kind of not meant to be. Um, so what do you think about Awesome Kong finally retiring?
Well, uh, you know, in wrestling, retirement is a temporary thing at this
Yes.
point because eventually you get that urge, you get that itch to get back in the ring. You know, maybe you're hoping things go differently this time. If you really have the sheer power of will, you can do a one-off appearance and walk away. But if you are still in performing shape, you, once you step back in the ring, you want more of it. The adrenaline is like a drug. You gotta know when to walk away. Uh, should Awesome Kong stay retired? Um,
I think that's up to her.
yeah, I think that is. I think.
And the last little tidbit of from that show, all mainly positive. The only critique I really heard was people were saying it should have ended with the Gauntlet Cup. It should have ended with Camille and Layla Hirsch for the championship. Um, is that just a really nitpicky thing, or is there a way in having your champion main event your pay per view?
I think they want. I think it was more about the history making aspect of it than it was really the structure of who's at the top of the card, who's in the main event. Um, they, I can see why they wanted to put the gauntlet at the end. Essentially, the gauntlet is a tribute to NWA women's wrestling over the years. Um, and it's a very, very touching thing. Um, but yeah, I agree. The championship match should have gone on last. The other thing I'd say is I I don't know how confident the NWA was, but some of these performers could go 20 minutes easily.
Oh yeah,
And aside from the gauntlet match, no match went longer than 15 minutes.
I think that's more on the lines of trying to get everybody on the card. Uh, there was a lot of girls, and a lot of them even wrestled more than once. So I kind of understand that. The the one thing that kind of surprised me, and we'll talk about it a little bit right now. Um, Mickey James didn't actually wrestle on that card. But she did, however, wrestle at NWA 73, the 73rd anniversary of NWA. Um, and she got a win over Kaylee Ray. I wonder how she got that win. In advancing her rivalry with Deanna Purrazzo. Um, does that kind of speak to that she was maybe less selfish not to be on her own show, or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I believe it was less selfish.
And then the gauntlet match was won by Chelsea Green. She wrestled Camille the next night again at the 73rd anniversary. Camille won that as well. Um, One of the big things to come out of the 73rd anniversary show was Ric Flair returning to NWA TV for the first time in who knows how long. Good to see the Nature Boy back on NWA TV. Scooter.
Oh, absolutely. It yeah, definitely. I mean, what is there to say that hasn't really already been said about you Ric Flair and the NWA? Ric Flair made the NWA really what it is,
Oh,
what it
absolutely.
was, and what it always will be.
And of course, the show was headlined by Nick Aldis defending the championship against Trevor Murdoch, championship versus career match. Trevor Murdoch is your new NWA champion. I know that at some point they have to get the title off Aldis. He was going to be the longest reigning. I think he already is the longest reigning NWA champion in quite some time. But was Murdoch the right guy to do it?
Yes,
Elaborate.
Murdoch is someone who WWE saw no potential in, or very little potential, and and they're the ones who stuck him with essentially what is the perfect gimmick for the NWA. Um, and since his time at WWE, Murdoch has only gotten better,
Oh yeah.
and Murdoch he really he really evokes that spirit of what the NWA represents. The fact that you don't need to have a six pack. You don't have to be you're watching your weight. Trevor Murdoch is the average person in terms of looks. In terms of it's a classic story of if he could do it, then damn it all, I could do it too. It's a story. It's the classic story of inspiration.
Now that Murdoch is champion, do you think that he's gonna actually get a little bit run with it? Is it going to go back on to Aldis, or are we maybe giving Aldis a rest from that championship?
I think all this might be exploring other avenues, which would be very weird considering that his wife just came back.
Maybe that's the reason.
Uh, that's that's what I'm thinking. That maybe he wants to take a break, and that maybe he wants this time to be about Mickey instead of you know it being about Aldous you know, you know, not that he was getting preferential treatment, but
He kind of was.
uh, but I hope that's the case. All this takes a rest. He's more than earned it. Uh, and he lets his wife carry the mantle for a little bit.
I kind of compared to when Okada lost the IWGP Championship during that historic reign that he had. It kind of seemed, what is Okada's identity without that title? So I would like to see who Nick Aldis is without that NWA Championship, and kind of see if he could maybe reinvent himself, so to speak. I'm curious to see
Uh,
what comes up next for him.
The return of Magnus.
That would suck. Um, and I think that will conclude our coverage of the news for this week.
Hmm. Maybe the fact that Braun Strowman is headed to uh, most likely headed to Impact. But his first match will be taking place. Uh, um, God. Uh, Against EC3 at Free the Narrative. Um, that and apparently Strowman is traveling to, and I can't believe I'm saying this, Qatar.
He bought a guitar.
No, the country, QATAR, to compete at Qatar Pro Wrestling Super Slam 3 in February of 2022.
I thought he just gave up wrestling to be a musician. Yeah.
Um, but Scott D'Amore has stated during a Twitch stream that Impact is on the road to Braun for glory. So, Strowman to Impact.
I don't know if that's. No, yeah, that sounds right about him. I mean, everybody made a big deal about Braun Strowman, but I never really saw him as the tippy top main player, whether it be in the. Well, he was only in WWE's. So, and I just found it hilarious that when he did the documentary, he was like, the the last time I wrestle is the last time I stay in this company in WWE. And now because he wouldn't wrestle anywhere else for anybody else but Vince McMahon. Yeah, that worked out well.
Well, maybe he was talking as Braun Strowman because he's competing under his real name, Adam Scherr.
Sure.
It's a sure thing. Wait a minute. That's money right there.
Tweet him right now. Um, yeah, that we'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
Um,
The Miz to compete on Dancing with the Stars.
that should be fun.
Uh, and I know we're gonna get into it just a little bit, but certain plans for the September 22nd AEW show in my hometown have apparently changed, and it was one of the main reasons I was gonna go. A certain American mythical fire-breathing person who was supposed to show up, and he goes, maybe, maybe, maybe. Will be happening at the event we are about to preview.
And I think that, again, that's where we're going to stop the news. But first, a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.